I've been reflecting about globalization and whether globalization um, is in peril, or is globalization dead, or going to be dead in the coming years. Globalization has, since the end of World War II, has worked well in the context of that getting resources from, or using labor where it's the most cost effective, or getting resources from where it's the best cost proposition for getting those resources, be it mineral resources and other or natural resources, benefited countries across the world, and mutually benefited countries, and was a key reason for not of large scale conflict not breaking out across different nations um, in a post World War II scenario. Um, that whole framework of trade seems to be under serious pressure currently. If you look at Europe, obviously, is the most obvious example, and what's happening with the use of gas from Russia for the European nations. There is a fast realization that dependence on Russian gas needs to be reduced over a period of time, and what measures need to be taken to do that. The pandemic has also laid bare how easy is it to disrupt supply chains, and the whole model of just-in-time supply chains is under serious pressure from to be rather ready for just in case. So stockpiling of critical raw materials, for example, is now more in the force. Self-sufficiency in critical um, uh, raw materials and critical technology is something that is increasingly coming to the fore across the world in different nations. The importance of global trade of in these areas of resources or labor seem to be seriously shaken by what's happening in Russia and Ukraine, what's happening across the Taiwan Strait regarding tensions, and in general, the geopolitics of nationalism in various countries seem to be creating a situation where self sufficiency has become a very important part of, 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 of showing to the population that we are um, uh, insulated against future threats, and how and possible economic disruptions. Um, so all of that then leads to the question that what does globalization look like in that situation? Will nations easily exchange technologies? Will nations be inclined to be trade dependent with other nations in this situation, in this scenario, where those interdependencies through COVID and conflict have been seriously shaken? So that presents challenges for policymakers, both at an economic level and at a political level, of balancing um, what the population perceives as um, inherent weaknesses in a situation where products are imported, or resource dependencies on other countries, and what is the ground reality of how quickly um, such large scale import of resources can be replaced by domestic sources or procurement from more friendly nations. So there's some significant challenges ahead for globalization and trade vis-a-vis these tensions, and would be interested in everyone's thoughts of how you see globalization evolving in this paradigm.